For millennia, the Great Sphinx of Giza has stood silently on the sands of Egypt, an enigmatic figure whose purpose and meaning continue to elude scholars, archaeologists, and historians. The Sphinx, with its lion's body and human head, gazes steadfastly towards the rising sun, yet its gaze seems to penetrate far beyond the visible horizon into the realms of forgotten knowledge, hidden wisdom, and lost time. What secrets does the Sphinx guard? What ancient truths are buried in the dust and stones of its form? The Sphinx is often referred to as the guardian of knowledge, a title that holds more significance than we might initially realize. It is not just a monument of stone, it is a symbol, a representation of a higher understanding, a key to unlocking the mysteries of the ancient world. But what is it guarding? And why has it withstood the ravages of time while so much of the ancient Egyptian world has been lost to us? The Sphinx's symbolism is as complex and layered as the ancient texts that hint at its true meaning. At first glance, the figure of the Sphinx is simple enough, a powerful lion with the head of a man. But in this simple form, we encounter a deep and profound dualism, the union of the animal and the human, of strength and intellect, of nature and civilization. The lion is a symbol of strength, courage, and royalty, while the human head signifies intelligence, wisdom, and the ability to transcend the primal instincts of the animal world. The Sphinx, therefore, embodies the balance between the physical and the spiritual, the material and the divine. The idea of the Sphinx as a guardian is deeply rooted in ancient Egyptian thought. In the Egyptian worldview, the guardian archetype was essential to the spiritual and physical realms. Guardians were protectors of sacred places, of the mysteries, and of the divine knowledge that only the initiated could access. These guardians were often depicted as beings of great strength and wisdom, capable of repelling those who were unworthy, while guiding the worthy towards enlightenment. The Sphinx's position at the entrance to the Giza Plateau, facing the Great Pyramid, suggests that it was more than just a monument of artistic or architectural importance. It is situated at the edge of the land, where the human world meets the divine, where the earthly and the cosmic overlap. The Sphinx faces the rising sun, and in this sense, it is a guardian of the dawn, both literal and metaphorical, standing as a sentinel at the edge of time, guarding the transition from darkness into light, from ignorance into knowledge. The Egyptians, like many ancient cultures, saw knowledge as sacred, as something that had to be guarded from the profane. The knowledge hidden in the pyramids, the wisdom of the gods, was not meant for just anyone. It was a gift bestowed upon those who had undergone the proper spiritual transformation and initiation. The Sphinx, as the guardian, symbolizes this wisdom, a gatekeeper to the divine, a being that holds the key to deeper understanding, awaiting the worthy to approach it with the proper respect and reverence. The Sphinx, standing proudly on the Giza Plateau, has been a silent sentinel of ancient wisdom for thousands of years. Yet, despite its grandeur and significance, the true origins of the Sphinx remain shrouded in mystery. While mainstream archaeology attributes its construction to the reign of the pharaoh Khafre of the Old Kingdom, there are countless anomalies and unanswered questions that suggest this timeline may be far too simplistic and possibly entirely wrong. Some scholars have long contended that the Sphinx may be far older than conventionally believed, with some suggesting it could date back to a time long before the rise of ancient Egypt. The evidence, both geological and astronomical, hints at a much deeper, more enigmatic past. The first clue to the Sphinx's true age lies in the erosion visible on its surface. The Sphinx, particularly the lower sections of its body, exhibits signs of water erosion, which many scientists believe is far beyond the typical wear caused by wind and sand. This anomaly points to a period of heavy rainfall, something that would have been nearly impossible during the era of Khafre. In fact, it is believed that the last period of significant rainfall in Egypt occurred during the Neolithic era, around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. This date suggests that the Sphinx could have been constructed long before the established timelines of Egyptian civilization, possibly by a lost civilization whose knowledge was either preserved in the Sphinx or hidden away beneath by thief. Avarit. One of the most compelling theories posits that the Sphinx was built not by the Egyptians, but by an earlier civilization, possibly one that existed during the last ice age. This theory is supported by the work of researchers who have studied the geological evidence surrounding the Sphinx. The erosion patterns found on the Sphinx's body closely resemble the effects of prolonged exposure to rainfall, a phenomenon that occurred far earlier than the known Egyptian dynasties. Some theorists suggest that this could be the result of an advanced pre-Egyptian culture, one with the knowledge and skills to create such a monumental structure. If the Sphinx indeed predates the Egyptians, then who were its builders? Theories about the lost civilization that may have created the Sphinx vary widely. Some suggest that this civilization was Atlantean in nature, a culture that was destroyed in a cataclysmic event, leaving behind few traces of their existence. The legend of Atlantis, as described by Plato, speaks of a great civilization with advanced technologies and a deep understanding of both the material and spiritual worlds. Could the Sphinx be a remnant of this lost civilization, a monument to their wisdom and achievements? Others believe that the Sphinx could be linked to the ancient Egyptians themselves, but perhaps not in the way we have been taught. What if the Egyptians were not the originators of the Sphinx, but the inheritors of its secrets? Perhaps the Sphinx was already standing long before the first pharaohs rose to power, and it was the Egyptians who merely took ownership of it, building the nearby pyramids in reverence to this mysterious monument. The Sphinx could have been a sacred relic, an object of divine power and profound knowledge that was passed down through the ages, from one culture to the next. Another possibility is that the Sphinx was created by a civilization with knowledge that far surpassed our own, a culture that understood the deeper workings of the earth, the cosmos, and the human spirit. This civilization could have been intimately connected with the earth's energies, harnessing them to create powerful structures that not only served as monuments, but as vibrational tools that resonated with the natural forces of the earth. The Sphinx, in this view, is not just a statue. It could be a symbol of a greater system of knowledge that extends beyond the realm of physical construction, tapping into the mysteries of the universe. The idea that the Sphinx may be much older than conventional history allows is not a new one. Geological studies, as well as the work of independent researchers, have long pointed to the possibility that the Sphinx could be much older than the pharaohs of Egypt. In fact, some researchers believe that the Sphinx may have been constructed during a time when civilization was still in its infancy, a time when the forces of nature and the cosmos were understood in ways we have long since forgotten. The Sphinx may be not just a monument to a specific culture, but a symbol of a lost age, an age when humanity was in closer communion with the earth and its hidden forces. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands as one of the most enigmatic and awe-inspiring monuments of the ancient world. While its colossal form commands attention and its symbolic significance is vast, what lies beneath the surface of the Sphinx remains an even greater mystery. Despite centuries of study and exploration, there are still unanswered questions regarding what, if anything, is hidden beneath its monumental body. The idea of hidden chambers and secret rooms under the Sphinx is one that has intrigued scholars, explorers, and conspiracy theorists for hundreds of years, yet the question persists: what exactly Does the Sphinx guard? Some of the earliest recorded theories regarding hidden chambers beneath the Sphinx date back to the 19th century, when explorers and archaeologists began investigating the area around the Sphinx. The most well-known account comes from the French explorer and Egyptologist Auguste Mariette, who, in the mid-1800s, reported evidence of a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx. Mariette's theories were based on his excavation of the area, where he believed he had found a sealed entrance that led deep into the earth. However, despite his findings, little attention was given to this discovery, and the idea of hidden chambers was largely dismissed by mainstream scholars. Over the following decades, more reports of hidden rooms and unexplored spaces beneath the Sphinx began to surface. Theories ranged from the idea that the Sphinx held sacred ancient texts and religious artifacts, to the belief that the Sphinx might be hiding an entire subterranean city, a place where a lost civilization might have once thrived. These theories were often met with skepticism, as no concrete evidence had been uncovered to support them. However, in the 20th and 21st centuries, with the advent of new archaeological technologies, a renewed interest in the possibility of hidden chambers under the Sphinx began to emerge. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence supporting the theory of hidden rooms beneath the Sphinx comes from geophysical surveys conducted using modern techniques like ground-penetrating radar, GPR. In the 1990s, a series of GPR scans were carried out around the Sphinx, and the results were startling. The scans revealed what appeared to be anomalies in the ground beneath the Sphinx, indicating the possible presence of subterranean chambers or passageways. These findings reignited speculation about the true nature of the Sphinx and its connection to the surrounding pyramids. Could these chambers contain ancient scrolls, hidden knowledge, or sacred artifacts left by a long-lost civilization? The idea that the Sphinx may be guarding ancient wisdom is not a new one. Throughout history, the Sphinx has been revered as a symbol of mystery, its purpose never fully understood. In many ways, the Sphinx is more than just a monument. It is a symbolic gateway between the known and the unknown. Theories surrounding the hidden chambers beneath the Sphinx often suggest that they contain more than physical relics. They are thought to house spiritual knowledge that was deliberately concealed to protect it from those who were unworthy to understand its significance. One of the most compelling theories regarding the hidden chambers under the Sphinx is the idea that they may be connected to the Great Pyramid of Giza, which sits just a short distance away. Some researchers suggest that the Sphinx may have been designed as a spiritual guide, leading initiates to the hidden chambers of the pyramid, where they could access the deeper mysteries of the universe. According to this theory, the Sphinx was not just a guardian of physical knowledge, but also a spiritual gatekeeper. The chambers beneath the Sphinx could hold the keys to understanding the divine forces that shape the universe, with sacred texts and artifacts pointing to lost knowledge that has been hidden for millennia. In addition to the GPR scans, scientific expeditions have also uncovered tunnel systems in the surrounding area. These tunnels, while not directly connected to the Sphinx, suggest that the region around Giza may have been extensively networked with underground passageways, some of which could have led directly to the Sphinx itself. These findings further fuel speculation that the Sphinx may be the centerpiece of a larger complex of subterranean chambers and tunnels used by ancient priests, initiates, and rulers to access hidden wisdom. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands as a silent testament to an era long past, but it also carries the echoes of ancient wisdom knowledge that has been passed down through secretive teachings and hidden rites. In the heart of Egypt, the Sphinx is more than just a monument. It is a symbol of initiation, a guide to the lost mysteries that once shaped humanity's spiritual understanding. The question, however, is whether the Sphinx was more than just a physical monument Was it a key to understanding the mysteries of life, death, and the cosmos itself? The mystery schools of ancient Egypt were places where initiates underwent rigorous training to understand the deepest secrets of existence, to transcend the material world, and to align themselves with the divine. These schools, such as the Temple of Isis, the Temple of Osiris, and the Hall of Two Truths, were known for their profound esoteric teachings, many of which are said to have been guarded by the Sphinx itself. The Sphinx, standing at the entrance of the Giza Plateau, is believed to have been a guardian of these sacred teachings, watching over the initiates as they embarked on their journey of spiritual enlightenment. The teachings of the ancient mystery schools were not just philosophical, they were spiritual practices aimed at transformation. Initiates would undergo a series of trials, both physical and metaphysical, to test their understanding and readiness to unlock the mysteries of the universe. The trials of initiation often involved a descent into darkness, symbolizing the journey of the soul through death and into rebirth. The Sphinx, with its lion's body and human head, symbolizes this journey of duality, the union of the material and the divine, the animal and the human, the physical and the spiritual. One of the most significant aspects of the ancient mystery teachings was the concept of self-realization, the idea that the key to understanding the universe lies within the self. The Sphinx, as a symbolic figure, represents this inner journey, standing as a guardian at the threshold between the known and the unknown, between the conscious and the unconscious. In many ways, the Sphinx mirrors the spiritual path of the initiate, an obstacle that must be faced and overcome in order to unlock the deeper mysteries of existence. The Sphinx is often associated with the god Horus, the son of Osiris, who represents the divine protector and the force of spiritual awakening. Horus, depicted as a falcon-headed god, was believed to be the guardian of both the living and the dead. His connection to the Sphinx may symbolize the eternal cycle of life and death, and the Sphinx's role as a guardian of the divine knowledge that could only be accessed by those who had been purified and spiritually awakened. The Sphinx, therefore, is not just a monument of stone, but a symbol of divine guardianship, representing the threshold between the material world and the spiritual realm. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, the sun was central to their spiritual beliefs. The Egyptians believed that the sun represented the divine light, the force that brings life and illumination. The Sphinx's gaze, fixed on the rising sun, may represent its role as a beacon of light, guiding initiates toward the divine knowledge hidden in the depths of the earth. The rising sun is a symbol of rebirth and illumination, representing the spiritual awakening that comes with enlightenment. As initiates pass through the trials of the mystery schools, they would emerge from the darkness into the light, just as the sun rises each day, bringing new life and understanding. The mysteries of the Sphinx also extend beyond the borders of Egypt. Many ancient cultures, including the Greeks, Romans, and even later civilizations in Mesopotamia and Mesoamerica, revered the idea of hidden knowledge and secret wisdom passed down through divine figures. In Greek mythology, the Sphinx was a creature that posed riddles to travelers, challenging them to prove their intellect and wisdom. The connection between the Egyptian Sphinx and the Greek Sphinx is more than just symbolic. It suggests a shared understanding of the concept of secret knowledge that could only be understood by those who were worthy. In the Egyptian context, however, the Sphinx's riddle is not a mere intellectual puzzle, but a spiritual challenge. It is not about answering a question, but about understanding the deeper truths that lie within the soul. The riddle of the Sphinx, therefore, is not just a test of knowledge, but a test of spiritual readiness, a challenge to those who seek to understand the cosmic order and the divine mysteries of the universe. The Great Sphinx of Giza has long been regarded not only as a monumental work of art and architecture, but also as a deeply symbolic structure tied to the cosmos. It is not merely a lion-shaped statue with the head of a man, it is a powerful celestial marker, carefully aligned with the stars, embodying ancient knowledge that transcends time and place. The Sphinx's connection to the stars and its alignment with celestial bodies may reveal a profound understanding of the universe, a knowledge that could have been passed down by the gods themselves. One of the most striking aspects of the Sphinx is its alignment with the rising sun at the spring equinox, a symbolic event that marks the balance between light and dark, life and death. The rising sun, as a symbol of renewal and cosmic order, is not just a physical phenomenon, but a spiritual one, representing the rebirth of the soul and the awakening of consciousness. In this sense, the Sphinx may not only have served as a guardian of wisdom, but as a symbolic representation of the cosmic cycle that governs all life. Its fixed gaze towards the horizon, where the sun rises, may reflect an awareness of the eternal cycles of creation, destruction, and rebirth that govern the universe. However, the connection of the Sphinx to the stars goes beyond its relationship to the sun. The Sphinx is believed by many researchers to have been purposefully aligned with certain constellations, particularly the constellation of Leo. The Sphinx's lion body is the key to this connection, as it is thought to represent the astrological sign of Leo the lion, which is traditionally associated with strength, power, and the cosmic forces of creation. The Sphinx's position and its association with the zodiac could be the embodiment of ancient Egyptian beliefs in the interconnectedness of cosmos and earth, with celestial events serving as metaphors for spiritual awakening and divine knowledge. The idea that the Sphinx was aligned with the constellation of Leo is not a coincidence. Ancient Egyptians had a profound understanding of astrology and the way in which celestial events influenced life on Earth. They recognized the stars as divine signs, guiding the course of history and the cycles of time. In fact, the Egyptians believed that the gods themselves lived among the stars, and certain celestial alignments were seen as signals of divine intervention or cosmic significance. For the Sphinx to face the rising sun during the spring equinox while aligning with the celestial lion suggests that it may have been a marker for astrological events of great importance, events that were believed to bring about spiritual transformation. Moreover, the alignment of the Sphinx and its connection to the stars can be seen as a reflection of the Egyptian belief in the concept of Ma'at, the cosmic order that governs both the heavens and the earth. In ancient Egyptian thought, Ma'at represented the balance of the universe, a balance between chaos and order, between the divine and the earthly. The Sphinx, aligned with the sun and the stars, could be seen as a physical manifestation of this cosmic principle, standing as a sentinel to ensure that the balance of the universe is upheld, and serving as a reminder of humanity's place within the greater cosmic order. The alignment of the Sphinx with the stars of Orion, which were also connected to the god Osiris, further underscores its role as a cosmic marker. Osiris, the god of the afterlife and rebirth, was believed to reside in the stars of Orion, and the Egyptians associated the rising of these stars with the resurrection of the soul. The pyramids of Giza, which are aligned with the stars of Orion, are thought to have been built as a gateway to the afterlife, where the soul could ascend to the stars and unite with Osiris in the afterlife. The Sphinx, as a figure aligned with the heavens, might have served as a spiritual gateway, leading initiates into the mysteries of the afterlife and connecting them with the divine forces of the cosmos. The relationship between the Sphinx and the stars is not only a reflection of the ancient Egyptians' astrological knowledge, but also a representation of the divine. The Sphinx is more than just a monument to the physical world. It is a symbol of the spiritual connection between the earthly realm and the divine cosmos. The careful alignment of the Sphinx with celestial bodies suggests that the ancient Egyptians possessed an advanced understanding of the universe, one that transcended the boundaries of the material world and delved into the mysteries of the cosmos. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands as more than just a physical monument. Its towering presence, its enigmatic gaze, and its silent majesty have captivated the imaginations of generations of scholars, mystics, and explorers. But what if the Sphinx holds more than just the secrets of its time? What if it contains a hidden message, one that stretches far beyond the boundaries of ancient Egypt? A message embedded in its structure, its alignment with the stars, and its very design. Could the Sphinx be part of a greater blueprint, one that reveals a map of the world, the cosmos, and the ancient knowledge that once guided the civilizations of the earth? The idea of hidden messages and ancient blueprints is not a new one. Throughout history, there have been many instances where monuments, temples, and pyramids were believed to contain hidden knowledge. These monuments were often seen as more than just buildings or tombs. They were symbols of divine knowledge, keys to understanding the universe, and portals to higher wisdom. The Sphinx, as one of the oldest and most iconic monuments in the world, could very well be part of this ancient spiritual blueprint, a structure designed not just for physical worship, but for the transmission of deep, universal knowledge. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Sphinx is its precise alignment with the stars. It is believed to have been carefully positioned to face the rising sun at the time of the spring equinox, marking the balance between light and dark, life and death. The fact that the Sphinx is so meticulously aligned with the celestial movements suggests that it was not just built for symbolic reasons, but also as a map, a guide to understanding the cosmic cycles that govern life on Earth. If the Sphinx was designed to represent the eternal cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, then it may be a blueprint for understanding the greater universal order. The idea of a hidden message within the Sphinx's design can be further explored through its geometry. The Sphinx, like many other ancient monuments, is thought to embody the principles of sacred geometry, a system of mathematical proportions and patterns that were believed to reflect the underlying structure of the universe. Sacred geometry was not just a system of mathematical calculations. It was seen as a divine language, a way to encode cosmic truths into physical form. The Sphinx's precise measurements and alignment with the stars may therefore be seen as a coded message, a mathematical and geometric key that reveals hidden knowledge about the universe, humanity's place within it, and the divine forces that govern all life. The connection between the Sphinx and sacred geometry also ties into the concept of the Pythagorean school of thought. The ancient Greeks, particularly Pythagoras and his followers, believed that the universe was governed by mathematical principles, and that everything, from the motion of the stars to the rhythms of the human soul, could be understood through geometry. In this context, the Sphinx's alignment with the stars and its proportions may be seen as a reflection of these cosmic principles, encoded by ancient cultures who understood the importance of mathematics and geometry in shaping both the physical and spiritual realms. In addition to its geometric alignment, the Sphinx's placement on the Giza Plateau is also significant. Its proximity to the Great Pyramid and the Pyramid of Khafre suggests that the Sphinx may have been part of a larger system, a system designed to convey hidden truths about the world, the cosmos, and the human soul. The pyramids themselves, with their precise alignment to the stars and their association with the god Osiris, were believed to be spiritual gateways, places where the soul could transcend the physical world and ascend to the heavens. The Sphinx, positioned as a guardian at the entrance to this sacred complex, may have served as a symbolic and physical doorway to the deeper spiritual teachings that were encoded within the pyramids. The Sphinx's connection to the great cosmic cycles, such as the precession of the equinoxes, which marks the gradual shift of the Earth's axis over thousands of years, is also a vital aspect of its hidden message. Ancient cultures were keenly aware of the cycles of the heavens, and many built monuments and temples to honor the movements of the stars and the planets. The Sphinx's alignment with the star sign of Leo and its association with the precession of the equinoxes may symbolize a much deeper understanding of the cosmic order, an understanding that the ancients had of the cycles of time and the eternal patterns of the universe. For millennia, the secrets of the Great Sphinx of Giza have remained locked away beneath layers of time, sand, and neglect. Hidden chambers, ancient texts, and sacred wisdom are believed to lie deep within the monument's body, waiting to be discovered. These hidden teachings have been sought by explorers, scholars, and mystics alike, all hoping to unlock the knowledge that was once passed down by ancient civilizations. But despite centuries of study, the Sphinx continues to guard its secrets, offering only cryptic clues and subtle symbols to those who are willing to search for the truth. The ongoing search for the lost wisdom of the Sphinx is not simply an academic pursuit, it is a quest for understanding, for knowledge that transcends time and place. The wisdom contained within the Sphinx is believed to hold the keys to understanding the true nature of humanity, our place in the cosmos, and the divine principles that govern the universe. The knowledge that was once imparted by the gods, passed down to the ancient Egyptians, and encoded in the structure of the Sphinx may hold the answers to questions that have puzzled humankind for centuries. One of the most profound questions surrounding the Sphinx is what is hidden beneath it. Archaeologists and researchers have long speculated about the existence of underground chambers and passageways, some of which may be directly connected to the Great Pyramid of Giza. The idea that the Sphinx was designed as a spiritual gateway to hidden knowledge, perhaps a repository of ancient scrolls or mystical artifacts, is a powerful one. These hidden chambers may contain writings that reveal the philosophies and technologies of ancient civilizations, many of which are thought to have been lost in time. In the 1990s, modern geophysical surveys began to yield intriguing results. Ground-penetrating radar, GPR, and other imaging techniques revealed anomalies beneath the Sphinx, suggesting the possible presence of hidden rooms and tunnels. Some researchers believe that these underground spaces could hold the sacred knowledge of the ancient Egyptians' wisdom that was either too powerful or too dangerous to be shared with the masses. Other theories suggest that the chambers may be connected to the priests of Egypt, who were believed to possess the sacred secrets of life, death, and the afterlife. Despite the tantalizing evidence of hidden chambers, the Egyptian government has been reluctant to allow further exploration beneath the Sphinx, citing concerns about the structural integrity of the monument. This reluctance has only fueled the theories of conspiracy and secrecy, with many suggesting that the Egyptian authorities are intentionally preventing the discovery of forbidden knowledge. Could the hidden wisdom beneath the Sphinx be too powerful for the world to handle? Or are the authorities simply trying to preserve one of the greatest monuments of human history from further degradation? The ongoing search for the lost wisdom of the Sphinx is also being aided by the latest technological advancements. 3D imaging, drone mapping, and robotic exploration are now being used to explore previously inaccessible areas. One of the most exciting developments in recent years is the use of muon tomography, a technique that uses cosmic rays to scan through solid rock. This technology has the potential to reveal hidden cavities and structures deep beneath the Sphinx and the surrounding area. Could muon tomography finally uncover the secrets that have been buried for thousands of years? In addition to these advanced methods of exploration, there are also spiritual seekers who believe that the true wisdom of the Sphinx cannot be found through scientific means alone. Many mystics, shamans, and spiritual practitioners believe that the Sphinx is not merely a physical monument, but a spiritual symbol, a beacon that can guide the seeker to a deeper understanding of the universe. According to these spiritual traditions, the lost wisdom of the Sphinx can only be accessed through personal transformation, a process that involves awakening the inner faculties of perception and wisdom. One of the most profound aspects of the search for the lost wisdom of the Sphinx is the belief that this knowledge is not lost forever, but simply hidden waiting for humanity to be ready to receive it. The Sphinx, as a symbolic figure of guardianship, may be testing the world, asking us to prove our readiness before we are allowed to access the ancient knowledge it holds. According to this view, the Sphinx is not just a monument of stone, but a living teacher guiding us on a journey of spiritual awakening and self-discovery. The Great Sphinx of Giza is much more than a towering figure of stone. It stands not just as a monument to ancient Egypt, but as a timeless symbol of wisdom, endurance, and mystery. For thousands of years, it has endured the ravages of time and the erosion of history, but its silent presence continues to inspire awe and fascination. What can we, in the modern world, learn from this enigmatic monument? What teachings, hidden in its ancient stone, can be applied to our lives today? The Sphinx is a guardian of wisdom, but it is also a mirror. Its presence serves as a reflection of humanity's own spiritual journey. The Sphinx, with its gaze fixed on the horizon, symbolically invites us to look beyond the material world, to see the hidden truths that lie just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. It calls us to transcend the surface-level understanding of existence and delve into the depths of our consciousness, seeking knowledge that goes beyond what we can see, touch, and hear. In this way, the Sphinx serves as a guide not just to ancient wisdom, but to the inner wisdom that lies within each of us. The pursuit of knowledge. One of the most profound lessons the Sphinx teaches us is the value of knowledge. The ancient Egyptians placed immense importance on knowledge, not just as a means of material power, but as a way to align themselves with the divine. Knowledge was seen as a sacred force, one that could elevate the soul and bring individuals into closer communion with the gods. The Sphinx, as the protector of this knowledge, reminds us that the pursuit of wisdom is not just a practical endeavor, but a spiritual one. In today's world, where we have access to more information than ever before, it is easy to lose sight of the deeper, more profound nature of true knowledge. We are surrounded by facts and data, yet we often fail to understand the deeper meanings behind the information we consume. The Sphinx teaches us that knowledge should not merely be sought for the sake of power or prestige. It should be sought for its ability to transform the self, to deepen our understanding of the world and our place within it. Balance and duality. The Sphinx is a symbol of balance. With the body of a lion and the head of a man, it embodies the union of opposites, the primal and the intellectual, the earthly and the divine. This duality is a central theme in ancient Egyptian thought, where the balance between the physical and the spiritual was considered essential to achieving harmony in life. The Sphinx's form serves as a reminder that in order to achieve true wisdom, we must learn to balance the material world with the spiritual world, the instincts of the body with the higher functions of the mind. In modern society, it is easy to become consumed with the demands of the physical world with work, success, and external achievements. Yet, as the Sphinx teaches, true wisdom lies in the integration of both worlds. We must not forsake the physical realm, but we must also seek to cultivate the inner world of spirit, intellect, and soul. It is only through balance that we can achieve the fullest expression of our potential. The importance of patience. The Sphinx has withstood the tests of time. It has watched over Egypt for thousands of years, its silent gaze unaffected by the passage of centuries. Its endurance is a testament to the virtue of patience, a lesson that is especially important in today's fast-paced, results-driven world. In a culture that often demands immediate gratification, the Sphinx reminds us that true wisdom, true growth, and true spiritual development take time. Just as the Sphinx has endured through the ages, so too must we learn to be patient with ourselves and with our journeys. Wisdom is not something that can be attained in a moment, but something that is earned through dedication, discipline, and time. The Sphinx also teaches us about perseverance in the face of challenges. Though it has been eroded by centuries of wind and sand, its form remains largely intact. Despite the forces of nature and the passing of time, it continues to stand as a symbol of strength and resilience. In our own lives, we too face obstacles, difficulties, and challenges that can seem insurmountable. But the Sphinx reminds us that strength lies not in avoiding these challenges, but in facing them with courage and resolve.